Tell me if that looks better.
New post. It's like every new post. There it is. There we go.
Looks better?
There we go.
All right, guys. Welcome in. Facebook and technology nowadays. First world problems here with Matt Barnes. All right, before we introduce our future guest, or guest for this week, I'm Bobby Levine. Alongside me now is Matt Barnes from NBC4 Columbus Morning News Station. Every single morning, this guy wakes up at 2:30. That's why the podcast is now at 5 o'clock, not at 9 o'clock like usual. Also, Ohio University alumni.
That's right. Class of 2008.
2008.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That
Yeah.
still the same though when you go down there, right?
Oh yeah. Hasn't changed one bit.
Except the junction is now J Bar.
Yeah. And picture's a lot bigger inside.
That is right. Well, that's actually leading right to my next point. We got to hit some advertising and sponsors while we're at it. Pigskin Bar and Grill on Court Street. Go check it out. Got great drinks. Food's great as well. TVs all over the place. And while you're waiting there, you can get your car detailed, waxed, washed, rinsed, and all that stuff at the J&J Mobile Detailing right behind Avalanche Pizza on East State Street. Go check it out. Joe and Big John are there as well. So Matt is joining us 2 weeks after we had Jerome Baker on the podcast.
Good get, by the way. Well done.
I'm pumped I got you right now.
Nothing.
It's all the Bobcat alumni and stuff like that. We're going to dive into the NBA.
Okay.
Some crazy stories has happened today and obviously throughout the whole offseason. We'll dive into the Kyrie LeBron situation a little bit later. But Zach Randolph, folks, if you haven't read this story, go check it out on Google. He was arrested last night in a very, very rough neighborhood in L.A. With the possession of marijuana and an intent to sell.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's your doing on this?
Well, it's one of those things where, his agent comes out and says it's not true, it's false, misleading. You like to presume someone's innocent before guilty, but regardless,
Yes.
he put himself in a situation that's not good at all.
No.
Don't do that. This is the guy who was beloved. I mean, beloved in Memphis.
They're going to retire his number.
Yes. I mean, he leaves and they don't want him to go, but they understand they don't want, they can't pay him all that. I've never thought of him as a guy who would do anything like this.
No.
So that's what's confusing is whether he did it or not, to be in the position where he might have done it or around people that were doing it, not smart.
Yeah, there's his agent came out saying that's not him. Obviously, it's a speculation right now. Nothing's charged or anything like that for this instant. But again, you just got signed by the Kings. You're trying to prolong your career. You're an old guy. They don't need you. They want you.
Yeah.
There's definitely other players they can get around them to help them out. And if you're gonna give that team a bad rep, they're gonna get you out of town.
Yeah. I mean, they brought you in to be that veteran to mentor guys.
Yes.
This is the last thing the Kings wanted.
No, exactly.
In terms of mentoring their guys, is this kind of situation. So I don't know what's going to happen from it. I hope he comes out clean in this whole thing. Because if he comes out, in trouble here, the NBA obviously has to suspend him. The Kings also suspend him. And that might be the end of his career.
Yep.
I mean, he's 36 years old. He's coming to the tail end.
Yes.
And boy, it's been a good career for a guy who, first round pick, that kind of just kept plugging away.
That's the part that blows my mind, though. He's had such a long career. He's made so much money.
Tons.
Why are you trying to sell drugs?
Doesn't need to.
You should have. Okay, folks, you got to realize these guys in the NBA nowadays are making way more money than the guys in our 90s and early 2000s are making because the salary cap's so high. His contracts in Memphis were so. I mean, I could probably look that up, but I mean, they got even more than $10 million a year.
Oh, he's making $12 million with the Kings, so he was making more in Memphis.
Folks, stay in school, don't do drugs, and don't sell drugs.
Yeah, no need.
Next thing on the agenda, you are wearing a Cleveland shirt.
I'm not a Cavs fan, though.
You're not a Cavs fan.
Just an Indians fan.
Just an Indians fan. But you did work at NBC for the sports.
Yeah.
And you had a report on the Cavs, the only NBA team.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
What is going on with the saga up there in Cleveland?
It's funny because I always say the NBA season's so long that, once the offseason starts, it's nice to relax and sit back and just wait until October.
Yep.
This is the most busy offseason ever.
Ever.
I mean, guys are going all over the place. And then the Kyrie news came out, and part of me said, what are you doing?
Yep.
You got a good thing going.
Yep.
And then part of me said, I don't blame him.
Yep.
I don't, because you went to Cleveland, or you didn't go to Cleveland. Cleveland drafted you as the number one pick. You want to be the star of that team. You've never been able to be a star. You struggle for a little bit, and then LeBron comes.
Yes.
You're not the star anymore.
Yep.
You never have been the star. You're always the second option or third option. And I don't blame him for wanting to be a first option again. He got his ring. Now he wants to lead another team.
Yes, and we'll talk about that ring a little bit later.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert tweeted out just yesterday, folks, quote, people care more about attention than winning nowadays. Definitely, in my opinion, coming at Kyrie.
Yeah.
But that's what, okay, you got to look at the NBA the last 3 years. Only 2 teams have had an opportunity to win a ring.
Yeah.
It's between Golden State and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
So all these players that play on other teams want that chance, and they're jealous. 100% they're jealous.
Absolutely.
And now you look at these guys like Rudy Gobert, they want that opportunity to beat Kyrie. But Kyrie, in his opinion, every year it's going to be the same thing. But do they have enough horsepower to get past Golden State? And in my opinion, his opinion, obviously, they don't.
And I agree. That's maybe another reason why he wants to get out now.
Yep.
I think, and maybe also he sees the writing on the wall with LeBron.
Yes.
But if I'm him, you see that easy road to the East to get right to the finals. The Cavs are going to get there. I know that. I'm a Pacers fan, and I've resigned myself to the fact that until LeBron leaves the Cavs, the Pacers are going to be irrelevant in anything. But if you're also Kyrie, I mean, again, even if LeBron leaves, it's your team now. I just don't like this subtle whining and subtle tweets back and forth between LeBron. Even LeBron's had a few that are just...
He's the king of that.
Exactly.
They call him the king on the court. He's the king on just subtweeting just a little bit and gives the attention and
anything, everything. Oh, it drives me nuts. But you know what? It's a drama that is not necessary. I'm convinced he's going to stay on the team. They're not going to trade him, and if they don't trade, it's going to be an interesting kind of season with knowing that's in the back of his mind.
It's gonna be like our Kardashian experience if he stays on the team. There's gonna be so much drama. The question is he gonna be man enough to meet LeBron face to face and say, "This is why I want to leave"?
You know he would.
LeBron, though, last week his team said if they saw Kyrie out in the streets, they would fight him.
See, and
First off, you're a grown adult.
I don't believe
what
that
is
one
going
bit.
on.
I don't believe that one bit.
Come on,
I just don't.
My opinion on this whole situation, I wrote an article about a week and a half ago explaining 3 different things that could be going on.
Yeah.
One, Kyrie wants his own team, wants to get out from underneath the shadow of LeBron, which we talked about. Another situation I have is LeBron could be behind all this saying, you know what? I don't like Dan Gilbert.
Yeah.
He does not like the ownership and has not liked the ownership, and he wants this ship to sink with Dan Gilbert holding everything in his hands with nothing left.
Yeah.
So if Kyrie leaves and LeBron leaves, you're left with Love.
Yeah.
No way Love wins you a championship.
Not going to work.
Not going to work. So I think he's telling Kyrie to get everyone some tension here, give Cleveland, oh, wow, the ship's sinking, Kyrie's leaving. This is going to make a perfect escape for LeBron after next year.
Fair.
And that's where I lead into next year.
Yeah.
LeBron is going to leave, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He came out, when he came back to Cleveland a couple years ago, said, I want to bring a championship back to Cleveland, which he did.
Yeah.
Cleveland fans cannot be mad anymore if he leaves again.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
It's
no.
going to be horrible. I guess.
I wouldn't say that at all.
Really?
Yeah, because here's my thing. He obviously, LeBron to me showed his true colors when he left Miami.
Oh, he's
the first place.
I'm not a fan of LeBron.
Exactly. Showed his true colors when he left the first time.
Yes.
All this loyalty to Cleveland. No, you left, all right?
Yes.
Then he came back because they lost the finals, and he's like, well, now I've got this opportunity to build this super team, a la some of the other ones in Cleveland.
Yes.
So let me do that. But here's the thing. I'm only going to go to Cleveland if you build me this super team.
Yes.
I always got Kyrie. Give me Kevin Love. It drives me nuts. Like, just go. You're the best player in the world. Just go and lead a team to a championship. Stop with the super teams. And now he sees that Golden State has a team that he cannot beat. Oh, I got to go make another one.
That's a team he wanted to be a part of.
Of course,
that's a team he could have sat back, not played half a fourth quarter in his NBA championship, and destroyed that team.
Absolutely. In my mind, he's going. I mean, I think he with Paul George. They're going to all go to the Lakers. The West is going to be the best conference ever in America. I mean, ever in the NBA. The East team might have 49 wins in the regular season to get to the NBA Finals because that's how bad the East is going to be.
the East is.
Yeah.
Follow Matt on Twitter, Matt_NBC4. He says all this stuff as well. I mean, you on Twitter can see that they always have memes of like an empty room and one person says this is what the NBA Eastern Conference looks like, and the West is just a whole party.
Yeah.
There's so much talent out West.
And every good player in free agency, except Gordon Hayward, went to the West.
Yes.
What's that say?
Because everyone also, I mean, the Pacers didn't want to trade in
they didn't want
the East.
Which
blows my mind. They could have got so many
nuts.
people in from Boston for that trade.
The amount of great players they could have gotten from Boston, even Cleveland. I would have rather have Kevin Love than Oladipo and Sabonis.
But that's called an ignorant owner. He doesn't want to see that.
No.
He doesn't want to see that. He'd rather see the West be great, as they have, than the East be great again. So.
In his mind, he thought, keep the East as weak as possible, better road to the playoffs. But you can't make the playoffs with that trade.
So you think it's a done deal that LeBron goes to LA next year?
Either LA or somewhere else, but I think I think he wants to play in LA before he retires.
There's two homes that I'm looking at. LA is one of them. He's a businessman. We both can agree that off the court, business wise, he's one of the best.
Absolutely.
One of the best.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly. He's got the right people around him to mentor him and tell him what moves to do on a chessboard so he can win the game. LA's huge. Obviously, every single huge market is out there.
Yep.
But he also has been in Miami before.
Correct.
And I think staying in the East can help him.
I agree.
He does not have to play every single game in the West and kill his body. He's an aging guy.
Yeah.
He's getting up there, and it only takes so long before Kobe had his injury, and then everything fell down. So I think LeBron can see that, and I think he actually might go to Miami.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be one of the two, I feel like. But LA is just where I always think, because I know he has Hollywood aspirations.
Yes.
Whether it's the Space Jam movie, or even like the fact he's a producer on a show on NBC right now called The Wall. He's an executive producer on that. He's got ambitions for TV and movies. So I think LA is where he wants to go. He's got to finish out the career, but he's got pieces around him. Well, Paul George clearly said he wants to go there. He's going to have some, guys like Lonzo Ball, whatever. So who knows?
Without the baggage, he reminds me of a lot of an O.J. Simpson back in the day.
Yeah.
Where he was just the man.
Correct.
Everyone knew who he was, what he was, and he was the center of attention. He was in L.A. I think LeBron wants to have the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, after the career ended, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Whole different story.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much all we have for the NBA talk. We're going to switch gears now to the MLB. We are in the middle of August 10th now. The dog days are getting hot. Out to the All-Star break. Matt here is a giant Indians, Windians now.
Yeah.
They've been on fire since last year.
Yeah.
Last night, you were asleep. We did talk about this. They picked up Jay Bruce off the waiver wire, pretty much.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on this move?
Love it. They have if Michael Brantley and Lonnie Chisenhall, two of their best outfielders, weren't injured, they wouldn't even make the move. But because they are injured, how do you not go make a move? Because this isn't a move for August or September. This is definitely a move for October.
Yes.
This is a move for that, because if they're not ready, you need a guy. If they are ready, you want a guy off the bench who can come out there. I love it. I absolutely love it. I know Jay Bruce strikes out a lot. I have plenty of Reds fans who hated him. Oh. You know what I like, though? I like 25 homers, 74 RBI, whatever he's got this year. That's all I need, all right? Give me a guy who can be a big bopper in the middle of that lineup. I love it.
So, myself being a diehard Reds fan, he was a huge strikeout.
Absolutely.
Huge strikeout numbers. I'm pretty sure he was up there almost breaking the record one of the years he was with us. He's got the potential, like you said.
Yeah.
Home run power is there. He's playing in Cleveland. Not that far of a right field fence.
Nope.
He's a left-handed batter, and he's got an unreal arm from right field.
Yeah.
It's lights out. And you guys are known for your defense. You have great defense and great hitting. Starting pitching-wise is the huge question mark right now.
It is right now. I feel like they're turning a corner right now. I feel
Kluber's throwing lights out right now.
Kluber's absurd. Trevor Bauer's put together 2 or 3 good starts. Salazar's come off the DL and been lights out. 4 and 5 position are a little dicey right now.
But that's how it was. That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
All you have to do is get hot at the right time. And we saw that from the Indians last year. They had 3 starters going at pretty much 3, and they weren't even their top 2 starters.
No.
It was 1, 4, and 5 almost.
Not good.
And the bullpen was stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best bullpen performances we've ever seen in baseball in history. And for them to do that and replicate pretty much the same, when you lose in the World Series in Game 7 after being up 3-1. Usually you might have a slump to start out the next year, or second half or first or whatever it is. They really haven't had that.
Not a huge slump. I mean, not like the Cubs have kind of been hovering around 500, a little bit under.
Yes.
The Indians have fairly been in control of the division. The Twins were up for a little bit, Royals were up a little bit. The Indians, I've never felt worried about them.
No.
But the best thing about being an Indians fan right now, they're willing to spend money.
They have to.
I can't tell you how many times I've been yelling at my television, yelling at the computer screen. Spend some money.
Yes.
That's all I want. Spend some money so that we can actually have a chance to pick. And here they are. Go and get Andrew Miller, Edwin Encarnacion, Jay Bruce, even Joe Smith. I mean, they're spending money.
I'll talk about that.
Underrated.
I think he's one of the best quiet moves and pickups during the trade deadline you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, he's a lights out 7th or 8th inning guy. For Toronto, he was the 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
Right behind Ozuna. This guy can be lights out for you guys.
Yeah.
Right now, Miller's hurt. You need someone else to step up.
Absolutely.
And right now, that's perfectly set up. You have a starter go 5 innings. You have a 6th, 7th, and 8th guy.
Yep.
And now you get your closer obviously right there.
And, yeah, Terry Francona already showed his hand about how he's going to play the playoffs, which is starter go 5, maybe 6.
Yep.
Give me 7, 8, 9 out there. I'll throw Andrew Miller for 2 innings. I'll throw Joe Smith in there for 1.5.
Kluber might go all 9 though.
He could absolutely. And I would love that.
Yes.
Let's buy Andrew Miller some time. But no,
There's a reason why he's a Cy Young winner.
Yeah, I picked them to win the World Series when the season began. I'm sticking with that.
Yes.
People can say whatever they want about they're pitching or the Dodgers or the Astros. Not worried about them at all.
There you go. Looking at your division though, Kansas City 4 games behind you. Twins 4.5.
Nah, Minnesota's just overachieving right now. We all know that. They don't have the horses, so they'll fall off. Kansas City scared me a little, but I just don't think they have the pitching to keep up with them. So
they were looking at getting Jay Bruce though.
They were.
That could have been really interesting, but I think right now with this pickup of Jay Bruce at August 9th yesterday, I think moving forward, I think they're the lead runners there in the AL Central. Obviously, Houston has it locked up in the West.
Yep.
They are lights out,
crazy
all over. The East is interesting.
The East is. I mean, I don't know. Boston right now, I think, have the 4-game lead on New York.
Yep.
I would argue the Yankees are the better team, though.
Yes.
I think they have the better pitching staff, definitely the better bullpen.
Yes.
And the lineup is scary good when Aaron Judge actually isn't batting less than 200 like he is right now in the second half. He's a terrible second half.
That's the problem, though.
Yeah.
He'll get on these runs where he can't miss the ball. It's like Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce will go on a tear where he can't miss the ball, and then he'll go on a slump where he's seeing 6 balls coming out and he's swinging at everything.
Exactly.
The problem I have with the Yankees is this wasn't the year they were supposed to be good.
Yeah.
They came out lights out. They spent some money. They got Sonny Gray from Oakland.
Yeah.
They got Jaime Garcia after one start with Minnesota, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. They should have ran off there. They aren't supposed to. They have so much talent in the minor leagues coming up. Next year, it's going to be like the Chicago Cubs last year, where it's like, this is the team we've been waiting for. I think Tampa could slide into the wild card.
Absolutely, they could.
And I think Boston has the division locked up.
You think you have it locked up?
I think they have it locked up. I think there's too much talent all across the board. They haven't hit the ball a year either.
True.
They've got, I think they're averaging like 1.1 homers per game.
Yeah.
Which is horrible.
It's for that lineup, and in that ballpark, absolutely.
Especially the ballpark, yes.
I don't know. My thing with the Astros as an Indians fan is the Indians played the Astros. The Astros were lights out, where they were just red hot.
Yep.
And the Indians went 5-1 against them in the 6 games they played.
I saw that, but again,
so I'm not worried about I personally am not worried about the Astros.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
Because I think they got off as gangbusters out there.
You guys are the defending pennant champs.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You guys come in the season hottest out.
Exactly. Wait till September. Let's see who gets in there with some fire and go from there.
Okay, Boston has a 4-game lead. Cleveland has a 4-game lead, and Houston's got a 13-game, and they've lost 2 in a row. They had 15-game.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. Looking at the NL, Washington pretty much has a locked up. They have a 14-game lead there in the East. Chicago, there's 4 teams in that NL Central within 3 games of each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bruiser to the end.
And you'd think the Cubs would run away with this. We all thought they would.
I don't know.
I don't know if they will, though. I don't.
I said from the get-go, losing David Ross was huge.
I agree.
He is a leader in the clubhouse, a vocal leader, and he has postseason experience.
Yeah. But then a guy like Kyle Schwarber is supposed to be really good this season. After that, I mean, they played him up like no other in the World Series. He was a hero.
Joe Buck's best friend.
Yes, and then he always done is bat under 200 all season long. They sent him to the minors, brought him back. So no, that's part of it. I mean, they're just not that good right now. I'm not scared of them.
The major story in all of baseball is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
How good
the LA Dodgers. So here's the stat. Yesterday they won another game, so they've been 45-7 the last 52.
Absurd.
The San Francisco Giants right now have 46 wins.
Yeah.
So
overall. Yeah.
So in a time period of 2 months, the Dodgers have had more wins than the San Francisco Giants have the entire year, dating back to April.
Yeah.
Can they win the World Series?
Oh, they can absolutely do it. Cool. But here, the things that you have to remember.
What is it?
Clayton Kershaw has not been good in the playoffs yet. He's not had a good playoff record.
Choke artist.
Not been good.
Andy Dalton style.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of their pitching staff hasn't really been in the playoffs, so I'm not really feeling them. Yu Darvish wasn't good in his playoff appearances, so I don't. They have a lot of guys that have not been in the playoffs before, and to me, that experience is a big deal. But boy, you look at that lineup up and down. You look at their starting rotation, and the amount of wins. At some point, you come on, you're good.
Yes,
they're really, really
good.
They're
really, really good.
But it's funny. The NL playoff race compared to the AL is completely boring.
It's always like that.
Yeah,
though.
Washington's in, Dodgers are in. It looks like the Rockies and Diamondbacks are locking up the wild card. It's literally down to the Central and who's going to win that.
Yes, that's going to be it. Pirates, Milwaukee Brewers, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Chicago Cubs.
That's about all it's about right now.
Whoever the whole month of September is pretty much playing your division 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be who can have a positive record, over 500 record in that month and moving forward. My problem on the Dodgers, though, again, the pitching staff has no experience in the playoffs, and the only one that does is horrible.
Yeah, not been good.
Can Cody Bellinger shine when the lights are on him the brightest?
I don't
Can
think
Justin Turner keep it up?
I don't think so either. Here's the thing: you always want to be playing your best baseball going into the playoffs.
They're
playing it now.
Yep.
So if they do this in September, great. But I don't know.
Living as a Reds fan, that happened multiple times. In 2012 and 2013, they played their best. The Reds had a 10-game win streak in July and August 3 or 4 years ago, and then got knocked out in the first round. It's just how it happens. The Indians did it correctly last year. Get hot at the right time, folks.
Yeah.
We're going to switch topics now to the most important topic in this Columbus area. Right now, especially moving forward, Ohio State football and college football as a whole.
Yeah.
Matt, you are from the Columbus area.
Yeah.
Born and raised, Scarlet and Gray, no matter what, is going to be running in your blood.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
100% has to. We had, like I said, Jerome Baker on 2 weeks ago. How good is this team with even the losses they had last year in the secondary and some key position players like Curtis Samuel moving forward to this year in 2017?
By the way, can you believe it's 3 weeks from today? From today? 3 weeks.
Thursday night. That's it. I'm excited.
You don't have to wait till Saturday. We get 2 days earlier before every other team gets kicked off. I love it. You know, again, from Columbus, obviously a big Bobcat, but, you know, Buckeyes are in the blood.
Yes.
I think this team can be really, really good. And, I mean, there are multiple reasons why, whether it's the schedule they play, which I think on paper looks tougher than it is, but you have to think your hardest games are all at home.
Yep.
Besides one trap game against Iowa.
That's what I say, yep.
The experience is out there. I mean, I know JT Barrett has his detractors, but I still rather have him at quarterback, I think, than my guy, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow down in Athens, baby.
Love my guy, Joe. Joe's my guy. But I still think you got to start JT and see where it goes from there. And then beyond that, the defense is just nasty. Absolutely nasty. And I know we have a lot of young guys in the defensive backfield, but that defensive line, whoo!
Yes.
When Greg Schiano just coming out saying they're better than the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Yeah, well, he's a horrible Bucs team, but absolutely saying that.
But come on.
All these guys will be drafted within the first 3 rounds of the NFL. Should 100%. Yeah. The way they've been talked up, watch out. They're I told Jerome that on the podcast. I said last year was very fun seeing a long third down conversion, playing on defense. Who's going to come up with a stop? Who's going to get an interception? This year, first, second down, I dare you to run the ball.
Yeah.
It's going to be nothing but negative runs from all these opposing teams.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to thrive on that.
I remember last year's team, while they, obviously made it to the college football playoff, 12-1 or whatever, they weren't supposed to get there. They were not supposed to
be there. Everyone forgets that we had nobody coming back besides JT.
Exactly, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, you have these big names like Nick Bosa, but sure, he hasn't done anything at this point.
Yeah.
You just have the name underneath you coming up. They're going to be so good this year with one more year of experience from last year and even getting that far.
Yeah, a lot of young guys played last year. A lot of them. So, just think, a guy like Malik Hooker came out of nowhere last year. There's going to be a guy like that this year in that defensive backfield for sure. Yeah. And then, wide receivers last year, let's be honest, they weren't real good. They were really young. Well, now they have another year. All right, the running back position, I think, looks great.
Yes.
I got to tell you, whether it's Weber or one of these younger guys who I've seen, oh my gosh. I mean, there is some real talent there. Irvin, all he does is reload. He doesn't rebuild. So, if last year was the year they weren't supposed to get there, I think they're definitely going to get there this year, and they're definitely going to be better.
The question is, again, the schedule. Urban Meyer has won multiple championships, and every single time he's won a championship, he's had one loss under his belt.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the schedule, you said the one trap game, even I mentioned that too, against and at Iowa the first week of November. You look back at last year, we go on the road and beat Wisconsin in Madison. I was at that game, unbelievable. Overtime thriller. The next week, the first week of November, you travel at Penn State. The same situation. Penn State under the radar. I was playing in the West. That's going to be always under the radar. Compared to the East with Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, and all those big dogs.
Yeah.
Watch out for Iowa.
Well, and think about it. Look, they're playing Iowa. I think it's right after Penn State, right?
Right
so
after.
At Penn State, Iowa, then Michigan State. Again, Michigan State. I know they're terrible last year, but come on, I'm never discounting Michigan State ever.
They lost us by 1 point. You're in the Final Four. No matter what, they're going to give you, especially Ohio State on your jersey. They're going to give it.
I mean, you're getting your best game from Mark D'Antonio team. So that Iowa game is the only one, honestly, the only one that scares me because the rest of those first 4 games, Oklahoma, not worried about them. I think new coach, the only thing you worry about there is game planning for a new coach and maybe a new system. But let's be honest, Oklahoma's game planning for a new offensive system too with Ohio State with Kevin Wilson at the helm. So
we also have 10 days in between that
that's
game.
and that's a big difference.
And I think Urban wanted to get have that Indiana game early on that Thursday, become the premier game to start off college football with a huge top-ranked opponent, a new offensive coordinator, like you said, from Indiana. Storylines building up there. Give us 10 days off, come back to the shoe, be prepared, and then they're going to be ranked top 15 in my opinion.
Who, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think they'll be top 10 team for
Yes.
sure. I mean, you bring a guy like Baker Mayfield back, and I mean, again, they have talent. I'm not saying they don't. This time it's in Columbus. Ohio State should come off of a good win at Indiana, have to get the good vibes about getting that offense flowing and clicking. And again, I just have so much hope for the defense will be the defense. The offense, I actually have a lot of hope in just because Kevin Wilson, every time Indiana played Ohio State under Kevin Wilson, Ohio State couldn't defend them.
No, we couldn't.
Like a 56-35 game. I said, what is happening?
The one game, it was he was there for what, 4 or 5 years? Kevin?
I think 4 years. Maybe.
My freshman year at OU, it was the game where Urban Meyer's first year in.
Yeah.
We ended up winning 52-49 or something like that.
I was at that game. Yeah.
It was the most points.
Yeah.
I think since the 1940s that Ohio State has given up on defense.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
And I was at that game, and it was funny because you look around, you think it's a sold out crowd, but you forget that 60% of the crowd is Ohio State and Indiana.
Yep.
But you just were mind-boggling. Like, what's up with this defense? This defense can't stop it. But
couldn't do anything.
He is so creative with the people he has.
Yep.
And now the pieces he has this year are even better.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
So. You look at the 3-year span of Ohio State, even counting this year. So 2 years ago, we had one of the best offenses we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, the mindset moving forward when we lost, I can't remember his name, Texas' coach.
Oh, Tom Herman.
When we lost Tom Herman after the championship, it completely switched over.
It did.
You could tell it wasn't, I guess that was 3 years ago. Then he had the last 2 years without Herman, the offense has just plummeted.
Yeah.
And us being in Columbus, expect high-powered offenses.
With Urban Meyer as head coach, you expect it, absolutely.
With the offensive playmakers we have.
Yeah.
We just haven't had that, and now moving forward, it should be exciting for sure.
I'm not concerned at all.
I'm looking at Penn State and Michigan, the top 2 teams in the East last year behind Ohio State, tied in, I guess, with them. Penn State plays Michigan the week before they play us. They come again then to Columbus and play us after we have a bye week.
Yeah.
That is going to be, in my opinion, a win for Ohio State.
How different is that? Because it seems like lately Ohio State's toughest games have been when the other team had a bye week. And it's like, wait a second.
This is a complete flop, 180. Last game at the season, we go on the road to Michigan. We play home against Illinois. Yes, it's the rivalry with Illinois.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to what Michigan has to do.
No.
The game before, they are at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Madison will be jumping.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be that's going to be a huge one for Wisconsin probably to get into the Big Ten championship game. So they'll be
the later schedule part of the Big Ten always tightens up. There's always a team that can slide in there, but Wisconsin, in my opinion, they should be back in the Big Ten championship. They've got 2. I mean, they're just too good regardless.
Oh yeah. They do their thing every year. They're a 9-10 win team.
Power eye back.
If not 11.
Run behind the fullback and dump off a 5-yard screen pass let run for days.
Exactly.
I have Wisconsin out of the West. Ohio State, in my opinion, should come out of the East.
I agree. Same exact thing. The only team I'm sleeperish on is Northwestern. I keep waiting for them to make that huge push to get into that.
Pat is such a
good
good guy.
Exactly. So I can see them doing it, but I'm picking Wisconsin.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
So big games looking out. The coaches poll came out last week. 4 Big Ten teams in the top 10.
Amazing.
Man has the script flipped on the SEC. Only one, and that's Alabama. So watch out for all the top Big Ten schools.
Yeah.
I don't want to dive too much into the college football season, as once you get started, it's just going to flow with each other. But week 1, we talked about the Indiana-Ohio State matchup. Michigan plays Florida in Jerry's World down in Dallas. What's your opinion on this one? Big Ten SEC rivalry.
The thing that I'm most interested in seeing is how good Michigan's defense is going to be. I mean, they lost literally every starter on that defense. 10 seniors and then Jabril Peppers.
Yep.
So I don't know what to expect at all. But beyond that, I mean, I think Jim Harbaugh's a heck of a coach. I'm not worried about them being competitive. I just don't know if they can win the game. And then Florida, young team last year, had their ups and downs. I think they'll be good.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think Florida wins the game, but
how long is the SEC East going to be the bottom feeder. They've been underneath the SEC West for so long, pretty much the Tebow level.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they are fed up with that. They want to make a huge statement. I have Michigan actually going 8-4 this year.
Okay.
I think they lost, as you said, way too many playmakers.
Way too many defense.
Yes, Harbaugh is coveted as a great coach, but the only record that matters to me is 0-2.
Yeah.
He loses games he needs to win.
I agree.
And in my opinion, that's it.
Yeah.
It's going to hold him back. The last year, they needed to beat Ohio State to get into that Big Ten championship game, and they lost.
Yeah.
You need to win that game.
I agree.
Offense fell asleep in the second half. Obviously, our defense really woke up.
Yeah.
But you need to take it to us.
Yeah.
You need to at times like that. Biggest game supposedly on the schedule of college football. So what's your opinion on this game? And I'm going to ask you another separate question after this.
The biggest opinion I have is the loser of this game shouldn't feel bad.
No.
Because they're still very much in the hunt.
Yes.
I mean, they might drop one spot,
Yes.
depending on how bad they lose or how big the game. But beyond that, I mean, I think this is by far the best opening night game we've had in a long time in college football. I really do. I mean, I think Bama is as good as their record is, rating is, and I think Florida State is too. But I don't know who's going to win because it's game one. I got to see one. I got to see the team play. It just doesn't matter if they lose because if you win out or even maybe even if you lose one game after that, you'll be okay.
And that's the next question. Will this be the year that a 2-loss team sneaks into the Final Four playoff? We've seen the last 3 years this thing has been going on. Not a single 2-loss team has been there. It's been close.
Very close.
Last year was the closest we've ever seen it.
Penn State, yeah.
Penn State was, in my opinion, should have.
I thought they should have got in, yeah.
I mean, after looking at what we did,
obviously,
Penn State go take on Clemson. I mean, I don't know if that would have changed the outcome. I mean, offensive-wise, it could have been a 49-48 final score.
Yeah.
I don't think Clemson would have shut out Penn State.
No,
I think is way too good.
They were better, yeah.
But again, if Florida State loses the Bama, we talked about this beforehand.
Yeah.
If they lose that game, then all of a sudden they have one loss. They can lose another game in the ACC because anything's possible.
Yeah.
Then what's going to happen? If you have 2 losses and one of your losses is the best team in football in week 1, do you hold them out?
No, I don't think you can. Now, again, it's a matter of who Florida State would lose to, and it's a matter of who Alabama would lose to. You cannot lose to, you can't lose to Duke or something. You got to lose to a really, really good team, and it probably needs to be on the road too.
And it looks, I mean, their schedule right now, Florida State, they play Alabama week 1, and they ended at Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be 2 losses. They can go perfect in the ACC, win the ACC, and then lose in the ACC championship, and their 2 losses are to possibly the 2 best teams in the SEC.
Yeah, I don't think you can do both. You can't. I don't think you can lose that late.
It's hard.
Yeah, like
Ohio State's done it before.
They have.
Lost to Illinois.
But to your point, yeah. I mean, if you lose to 2 SEC teams, go perfect in the ACC, and then win the ACC championship, that's 11-2 to 2 probably top 10 losses.
Well, let me
on the road or a neutral site.
So if you lose to Bama by say a field goal to week 1, and they lose an overtime game to Florida, Florida then goes on and beats Alabama in the SEC championship game. This is just all speculation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
In a very close game, the 2 losses are possibly to the 2 best teams in college football.
And Bama would have 1 loss. Florida could have 1.
It's gonna be messy.
Yeah,
they could be looking at us for the podcast back in the time.
And this is why it's funny. I always watch that whenever they reveal its top 4.
Yes.
I hate that process. It's like, oh my gosh, no one cares. It doesn't matter. Let's play the games.
Yes.
But it is fun to talk about. Like, okay, what does this have? What does this have? What is But oh man, I can't wait because I just think there's so many good. There are a lot of teams that I think Oklahoma State in the Big 12. I think it needs to be watched. USC, I think, obviously the class of the Pac-12, but everyone's don't forget about Washington. I just want to play these games, get going. Let's go.
That always happens, though. Looking at college football the last couple of years, there's always a team that just sneaks out, comes out of nowhere. Louisville did it last year in the beginning.
I thought Washington last year was a team. I did not see them coming. I didn't see them coming. I knew they'd be good, but not playoff good.
USC, like you said, is going to be really good this year. They got playmakers everywhere behind a great quarterback. So watch out for that. College football coming 3 weeks from today here in Columbus.
Cannot wait.
Unbelievable. Cannot wait for this. We got 2 more segments here. Rolling right along. Again, we're here with Matt Barnes from NBC4 Columbus, Ohio. Also went to Ohio University down in Athens. Let's talk about the NFL.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you on Facebook always have a preseason poll situation.
Yeah. I make my predictions from who's going 14-2 all the way down to 2-14. Absolutely, yeah.
You haven't made that yet.
No, because I think you have to get through training camps.
Okay,
I mean, you got to get through training camps. There's going to be injuries, whether it's the Ryan Tannehill situation or, let's say Tom Brady goes down. That's going to impact how you feel about a team. But I don't normally watch the preseason first games. I love watching the third game, though, because that's where I feel like you get to feel how good a team is.
Yes.
So that's when I'll start getting a feel for who's going to do what.
All right, now we're looking at this. You're a die-hard Colts fan.
Die hard, yeah.
Can Andrew Luck stay healthy?
Can the offensive line block
Can
for
the
him?
offensive line-
That's a great question.
It's a great question.
I mean,
It's a fair question as well.
That's my thing. Is now the O-line at the end of the year actually was playing well. They were playing well. They were a young group that was starting to get some cohesion, and I liked what they were doing. But there are two things with Luck. Obviously, he's got to stay healthy with the offensive line in front of him, but he's got to learn how to take a sack.
But
he's
he
got to
loves
learn how to
getting hit.
slide. I know,
He likes it.
and I love it too. I love the fact that
Oh,
there are
my
guys at his
goodness.
feet, and he's trying to, get the extra yard, get the pass through. But unless he just learns how to take a sack, he's got to do Aaron Rodgers. He's got to do Brett Favre, like near the end of their careers.
Tom Brady, get it.
Tom Brady,
Throw
exactly.
it away.
Throw it away.
You
Peyton,
don't-
I bet Peyton because he's got down.
Yes. Oh, he's got a horrible neck, too.
Yeah.
Looking at another Chiefs team, a big Columbus guy, Ezekiel
Yeah.
Elliott.
Yeah.
Huge.
Mhm.
Dak Prescott down in Mississippi State, huge SEC figure.
Yeah.
Playing now for the Dallas Cowboys, had an unbelievable first year. I don't think you could have got any better.
No,
Other than
no.
winning a Super Bowl, I don't think you could have had
Yeah.
any better start and finish the season.
Mhm.
Obviously, losing to the Green Bay Packers on a nuts game.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Are they going to have a sophomore slump?
I think Dak does. I think it's harder for Zeke to have a sophomore slump only because that O-line is so good.
So good.
The O-line is so good that, there were times where Zeke was getting all this credit for a 60-yard touchdown run.
Look
And
at
I'm
the
like,
blocking.
I could have run through that hole.
Yes.
I mean, come on. I mean, I give Zeke a lot of credit because he is really good. He's a heck of a blocker. He's got speed. He can all that stuff. But sometimes, give it up for the line.
No,
I mean,
for
he's getting
sure.
10, 15.
When you got interviewed, though, you'd always say, my line.
And he should.
Everyone.
Yeah,
I mean, yes.
Yeah. And he gave them these great, with these, off-road vehicles
Yes.
as a gift. I mean, that's what he should do.
Yes.
But I always want to, whenever I give Zeke credit, I'm like, that O-line would make a lot of running backs look good.
It's just great because obviously being from Columbus, running out here at Ohio State, we got to see him coming up and just the raw talent he had.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yes, he has got a great offensive line, but then when he gets to the secondary, he's got juice for days.
Yeah, and it's hard to tackle.
It's
That's
very-
the thing.
he's so
yeah.
big.
So when you're getting the 6-yard burst because the O-line gave you that, and then you get another 6 yards because of you, it's a product of both.
Huge.
But I think Dak has some kind of sophomore something. They're not getting the record they had last year. That's not going to happen.
They got a big X on their back.
Absolutely. And
Playing
the
under
schedule's
Jerry
going to be
Jones.
tougher,
Yes.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
humongous. They have a very, very tough schedule. Watch out, though, for the Cowboys, the boys,
Yeah.
on Sundays. I guess Saturdays and Sundays are for the boys. If
Seems
you know
like,
what
yeah.
else, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. You're not a Cleveland fan.
Not.
Browns fans wise. You're
Thankfully.
knock on wood somewhere, folks.
No,
if
that's
you're
a
a
good
Browns fan, tune in here because the question will be answered. Are they going to find a quarterback for the future? It's such a funny question.
I don't see where it is. I don't think Kaiser is. I don't think Kessler is. Brock is. The fact that Brock Osweiler,
Oh my God.
the guy that they pretty much said outwardly, we're not going to play him. We just signed him to hopefully trade him.
It was trade bait.
Yeah.
No one wanted him.
And now he's your starter in the first preseason game. What a train wreck! And I love
Yes.
Hugh Jackson. I think he is an absolute great coach, great offensive mind, and the right fit for that team. But what are you doing?
First off, I was on spring break. It was probably like middle of the week that trade came out.
Yeah,
Where you guys got Brock Osweiler, and it was pretty much a money dump for Houston.
exactly.
Ended up turning out great for them because they got a defending champion.
Yeah. They just want to clear the quarterback deck and get rid of him.
Yeah, but they picked up one of the best quarterbacks in the draft. in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
They got the guy who could win the most.
Deshaun Watson,
Yeah.
right? He's a winner. He's a born
Absolutely.
winner. Just like
Yeah.
Cardale Jones. The guy knows how to win.
Yeah.
They wanted to obviously dump Osweiler. No one wanted him so bad.
Yeah.
After he got Denver to the playoffs and the Super Bowl pretty much,
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, this guy could be good.
Yeah.
He goes to Houston, can't get it done.
Can't do anything.
Can't get it
Yes.
done. So the Browns now have him. The offensive line is going to be a huge question.
Yep.
Can they protect him?
Mhm.
I don't think Kaiser's that good.
No, I still don't think he has any weapons either.
No weapons.
The lost TP was probably your best receiver last year.
Kenny Britt, old.
Old.
Coleman,
Corey Coleman.
can he stay healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what weapons they have.
I mean, you're looking I don't know. And who was the guy that just got in trouble with the weed forever, marijuana?
Oh, who was that?
He's been.
Yeah, I know you're thinking of. Yeah.
I can't even think of his name, but regardless, I mean,
Yeah.
if he can stay out of trouble,
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Yeah.
Browns are a horrible mess. They're going to become the whole town's going to disintegrate once LeBron leaves.
So they're 1-15 last year. 1-15.
Can you see him go? Can you see them winning more than 4 games?
I can't. I mean, 4 seems like their high water mark. Just because, I mean, I don't see the talent there.
There's
I
no
don't see
talent.
And then the quarterback situation is so tedious right now.
Folks, you can have all the weapons in the world. If you don't have a quarterback under center, you
Yeah.
are in so much trouble.
Yeah.
So much trouble.
I mean, because then no one can trust the fact that he's going to. I mean, there's no trust among the team that he's going to be good.
Yes.
It just builds up. this bad juju on the team. I just don't like it for them. Now here's the thing. I think they made the right choice by not drafting one early. I didn't think there was a franchise quarterback in this past draft. And I think if they're smart, they wait for Sam Darnold the next year or someone else, whoever it is. But with that said, I would not be starting Brock. I'd be starting Cody Kessler and see what he can do.
But looking at them now at the coaching situation, 1-15, they almost went 0-16 for Hugh's first year.
Yeah.
If they don't win 4 games this year,
don't touch it.
I understand that, but Cleveland fans.
I do. I know Cleveland fans. I know Cleveland's ownership.
They get antsy.
Yes.
They get frustrated. So if they don't win 4 games this year, everyone starts talking hot seat Hugh, hot seat Hugh. And then it comes the next season.
Yeah.
If they don't get the quarterback they need, and they go again, maybe 5-11, if the seat is on fire.
You have got to give Hugh Jackson at least 4 years. You have to.
I'm with you 100%.
You have to. I know that may not happen, and it's hard to say.
But what if he goes 1-15 this year? Then it's
doesn't matter.
It's frustrating.
It is. But this team was so bad. This is a complete rebuild from the beginning. You have to give him time.
Folks, if you're watching now and you're a Cleveland fan, we do apologize because this year is going to be tough.
I just feel like they already know. I feel like they know, but...
And back in their head, they're the most diehard fans. I will give it to you all day long.
And the most optimistic fans at all times.
You win a game in the first 4 weeks, we're going to win Super Bowl.
Look, exactly.
Watch out for the Browns.
I mean, they were 0-7, and there's still time to make the playoffs. No, there's
not.
No,
there's not. That's when Terrell Pryor had the mindset, too. 0-3. Oh, we're going 13-3.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
But dang, they're loyal. I love Browns fans because of how loyal they are.
Absolutely. You tip the hat to the fans. Just be patient.
Yeah.
You have to be patient with the team. This is like when the LeBron left and the Cavs were pretty much left with nobody. It was a high school roster.
Yeah.
You have to be patient right now because it will turn around.
I agree.
Might not be this season, might not be next season, but it will turn around. You just need to find a quarterback.
Yeah. In the NFL, you can do it just like that too. Just like that. Falcons didn't make the playoffs
you guys did that with the Colts without
Exactly. They went 1-15, got Andrew Luck, made the playoffs 3 years in a row. It can happen.
It can happen.
Have some hope.
Very, very frustrating. All right, now let's talk about last thing before we go to the last segment, the Super Bowl pick. Who do you have looking at on paper? I know this is
roughly right now. Yeah. I really still like the Steelers. I really do. I think
you're going to have the Steelers beaten 5-time Super Bowl quarterback Tom Brady.
I will.
Holy
and I think the Patriots are obviously really good, but the Steelers right now might be my Super Bowl favorite to win it all. And the NFC, boy, it's a crapshoot to me because I think I don't have trust in the Cowboys. I don't have trust in the Falcons. The Seahawks keep letting me down. I can see the Packers. I guess the Packers might be a good squad to go with, but I want to see some preseason games before I get too freaked out about that. None of this is worth anything until you see my predictions on Facebook.
Follow Matt on Facebook, Matt Barnes. Check it out. Also, will you tweet that as well?
Oh yeah.
All right, so Matt_NBC.
It doesn't count if it's not on record, so that people can look back and say how good or bad the picks were.
That's why we have it right here. Too.
Exactly.
Podcast for days. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm looking at the Patriots. In my opinion, unless Tom Brady gets hurt, I don't see him slowing down.
I don't either. I'm not saying that he's slowing down, but
a monster.
Yeah. At some point, the Patriots will be figured out. They will lose the game. But last year they did.
Belichick is unreal.
He is.
He gets the job done.
Credit is where credit is due. I mean, come on. He gets it done.
All right, now this might be touchy subjects. One answer, yes or no. Will Colin Kaepernick have a home by opening day or opening Sunday?
I don't think he will by opening Sunday. I think he'll have a home by the time the season ends.
Okay.
It'll be a team that loses a quarterback and really, really needs a guy.
Now that is a whole other story for another time.
Yeah.
That's craziness right there. All right. Last segment before we end things here on the J&B podcast here at C at the T. I got Matt Barnes with me from NBC4 Columbus. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Yeah.
We have a fight August 26th. If you haven't heard about it.
There's a fight?
There's a fight. A guy named Conor McGregor, the notorious one, is going against Floyd Mayweather. His nickname's Money.
Yeah.
This guy's got a lot of money in his bank account.
And that's all this fight's about.
It is all money. All it's about. All money. Now, I've asked everyone the last pretty much month who's come on the podcast, what are the keys to winning? Who do you have first off?
Yeah.
Are you going to watch this fight?
So if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it on Periscope. That's someone else's show. I'm not paying for it.
Oh, come on. I'm paying for it.
I'm not paying for it because I paid for the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. Could not have been any more bored.
You paid for that?
Paid for it. I had to wait a half hour, 45 minutes after they said it was going to actually happen because there were problems with it, all that stuff. But I have nothing but respect for Floyd Mayweather. Clearly, the guy's really good. All right, I mean, you're undefeated like that. And Conor McGregor, I have seen
49-0.
I've seen some Conor McGregor UFC fights. Again, I don't pay for them, but I'll go to a bar or somewhere and see it. With that said, it's going to be the most lopsided fight in Floyd Mayweather's career by far.
You need to destroy him.
Destroy him. But here's the thing. And by destroy, I mean in Floyd Mayweather terms, which is he'll win in 12 rounds and he'll win a unanimous decision.
Okay.
Because he doesn't knock guys out anymore.
He hasn't knocked a guy out over 10 years.
Such a defensive fighter. So that's what makes his style so boring, but effective. I don't see Conor McGregor doing anything, and I think he's going to wear out after like 4 or 5 rounds.
And I am going to disagree with you.
Of course,
I'm going to disagree with you. I am a absolute die-hard Conor McGregor fan. I love the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone's like, "Oh, Conor's lost," blah blah blah. Yeah, he lost going to the mat. That will not happen this fight.
Yeah,
there are huge, bold letters in this contract saying you cannot kick, tackle, grapple, any of this. Or a lot of his money will go right to Floyd.
Yeah.
And that's also the same way for Floyd.
Yeah.
But Floyd, you don't have to worry about Floyd because that's not his thing.
He's not going to kick.
Yeah, there's no way. So I'm looking at this as Conor is 12 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
He is fighting at the weight that he can fight at. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to drop weight for this. This is his normal weight.
Yeah.
And he is normally a boxer when he fights in UFC. He does not like to go to the mat. Yes, he'll throw a kick in or two.
Yeah.
But his left is the strongest left in the UFC game.
Yeah.
The sport as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right, if you look at Floyd Mayweather, he might have a very strong right, but he's going to dip around. Now, experts are saying he won't get touched once.
He'll get touched.
He's going to get touched.
Touched.
There's no way you're running around and not getting touched the entire. It's just, you're in a ring the size of this room, smaller than this, and you're running around, you're going to get touched.
Yeah, he'll get touched. My thing is, Floyd's such a great defensive fighter that he won't get touched enough for it to matter.
Okay, that's fair.
And then, again, I think Conor wears out. He can do all this training all he wants right now. But once he gets to that ring, once he gets in that ring,
let's finish.
Give me 6 rounds. Like, what's that, 18 minutes right there?
Yeah.
UFC fights, the max he's going to do is what?
15?
15? Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy that he won't gas out. And once he gasses out, that's where his hands are going to drop and Floyd goes to
So then, my rebuttal on that is he's 28. He's practicing way harder because he can. He's in better shape, in my opinion, than a 40-year-old man.
I don't doubt that, but until you go 12 rounds in that ring, I think it's different.
I'm excited. I will love to pay for this fight. I'm having people over there. They're going to pay $5 to $10. Bring their own beer. They'll watch it on here. This fight, I'm telling you right now, is going to be one of the biggest upset stories of history.
Oh, boy.
Especially if they get the 8-ounce gloves.
Not going to happen. Well, the 8-ounce gloves, that might happen.
That's huge. They're talking about.
I know they're asking for it.
Okay, so right now, Floyd actually wrote a petition to get down to 8 ounces because he's trying to say that, I can fight anywhere at any ounce of gloves-wise. That's going to be, his hands are brittle.
Yeah.
They will break anything under 8, in my opinion. A 40-year-old man, he's crumbling right now.
I think you got to give him more credit than that.
I give him enough credit. He's 49-0 for a reason.
Yeah.
If you watch his fights, though, in the past, when he has been touched, it only takes one hit. In boxing and fighting, in general, if Conor puts one, he doesn't have to punch it the whole time. If he gets one punch there in the 12th round, he could go down.
I just don't think he's going to get that. I don't think he's going to get that punch.
It's all that matters. I mean, 12 rounds. I think it's going to happen. I think everyone's going to be like, oh my goodness.
It's a 6-round fight. It's not a 12-round fight. It's a 6-round fight because
Conor says he's going to get done in 4.
For his sake, it better because he's going to gas out.
He's going to look like Mike Tyson.
He's going to gas out.
No, he just hit him one time. He's going to fall, and that's going to be it. And everyone's going to be like, wow, he's going to walk away with $100 million. And Floyd's gonna walk away with $300 million.
There's something about you could train as hard. He could train for 15, 20 rounds, right? Yes. But until the other guy in that ring, which he does not do right now, the other guy in the ring is swinging to kill him.
Yes.
Which you can't train for that part.
No.
Until you go through that one time, and he has not done it one time.
I gotta get a stat for you. I tweeted this out just earlier this week on the Seat at the T Twitter page. Say an average person, this is way above minimum wage, is making $50,000 a year, tax-free. He has to work how many years to get $300 million? 600 years. Folks, Floyd Mayweather is going to make $300 million within an hour time of a sporting event. He won't. What would you do with that money?
I don't know.
What's the first thing you do with that money?
I'd put a bond in the bank and I don't know what to do with it, but
pay your IRS first.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah, the taxes, that's going quick. The biggest thing with that, and that's why he's called Money Mayweather for a reason, because it's all about the money first. Yes. It always will be. And obviously he trains and he wins, he's good. But this fight's all about the money. Floyd loses, I don't think he cares at all.
He's actually, in my opinion, I think he might not because he's all that money. He
Yeah.
said if he loses this fight, he talked with Stephen A. Smith, he will walk out of the ring with his head held high.
Yeah.
Obviously richer than anyone in
Yeah.
that arena as a general, unless Donald Trump shows up with $1
Yeah.
million. But then your perfect record's out the way. You're 40-1, and you got to sleep with that. Knowing I should have taken this fight.
Yeah.
And now I lose to a UFC fighter. I think the boxing in general will collapse after that.
Always, I think boxing in general has already collapsed. I mean, this fight is what's trying to keep boxing alive. I mean, literally, there's no one. Most people can't name another boxer besides Floyd Mayweather these days. It's sad.
Yes.
Because boxing, when I was growing up, was a big deal. I remember watching the Holyfield fights and the Lennox Lewis fights. Those were a big deal. Mike Tyson, all that stuff. So, those were big. If this fight goes how I think it's going to go, which is going to be a boring 12-round fight of Floyd
That's what
dominating,
happened last time.
it's going to kill the sport. That's what Pacquiao Mayweather did. That fight was 5 years too late.
Yes.
If that was 5 years before, that would have been huge for the sport.
Absolutely. Now, when you say boring-wise, do you think this gives more and better promotes the UFC?
Well, I think the UFC is already exciting. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I know there are people that don't like the UFC because they don't like blood and the kick. And I get that. If it's not such a thing, it's not your thing. But you can't argue the excitement factor on the UFC.
They promote, I think, out of any sport, the best.
I agree.
I mean, they get these guys, and I think Conor McGregor has put it up to another level. That's why I will always. Both guys are businessmen. They might be behind Michael Jordan for the best.
Yeah.
Active right now. Obviously, Michael Jordan with the shoe deal is number one, and then Tiger maybe number two. But looking at these guys and what Conor has done for the sport of UFC, just the way he can talk and get in someone's head, there's not a moment, and probably, in my opinion, Floyd Mayweather, when he closes his eyes, he sees Conor McGregor. He has to. He's in his head. Those promo fights when they had out there on the four city thing were
You really think Conor McGregor's in Floyd's head?
Yes.
I don't see that.
Yes, he can talk.
Why would he be in his head?
Because he's scary.
Oh, my
He's
gosh.
bigger. He's going to ruin the perfect record. It's over. This is going to ruin boxing. He's got to think to himself, yeah, $300 million, but when I walk around, they're going to be like, haha, you lost the
Floyd's been doing
you
this.
lost to Conor.
Floyd's been doing this too long, won too many matches, and has been done too many of these press circuits for him to get anyone to get in his head. Convinced.
I don't know. He's usually the one doing talking, though.
Yeah, Conor doesn't let him give a chance. Conor's always talking.
Because he's the man at talking trash. And guys, again, August 26th.
It's gonna be big.
If you go to any bar, you're probably paying $25 to get in there because they have to pay the pay-per-view price. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
You pay for $100, or you can do it Matt's way. Periscope it on Twitter. It's actually smart, though.
Yeah,
Someone's going to do it.
I mean,
Can you get in trouble for that?
technically no, because I'm not the one doing it. I'm just watching.
No, I'm saying like the person.
Oh, gotcha. They knock him down. So I mean, you'll be in the middle of the fight and they'll knock out a feed, and then you have to go find another one.
See, I've never done that before.
Yeah, there are easily hundreds, 300, 400, high 500 of them. So you just go to another one. Go to another one. And some of them are annoying because you have people in the background, like maybe speaking Spanish, and you're just
commentating on.
Yeah, and you're just like, I just want one with just here talking to the commentators. So depending on the country or how close it is to the TV, it can be fun or not fun.
Very, very nice. Well, again, August 26th in Vegas, Conor McGregor against Floyd Money Mayweather, the biggest fight in probably boxing history, if not the last 20 years since pretty much Mike Tyson was fighting.
For the wrong reasons, but yes, it's still the biggest fight.
And I think it's the end of boxing as we speak. But again,
Could be.
Matt, thank you so much for coming on. Matt Barnes from NBC4, Columbus, Ohio. Check him out in the mornings, Monday through Friday, early.
Mm-hmm. Feel free to DVR it. It's okay.
You can, he won't know.
I don't know.
He's going to watch you. No, absolutely. Go check it out. Awesome guy to have and know. One of the best guys ever met at OU.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And you're welcome on any time. Next week, we should have one of your old
coworkers.
Yeah. Jim Ganal might be coming on. He was the weather guy.
He was. And if you don't know, huge sports fan.
That's
and
what he was telling us.
Big Iowa fan.
Well, I'm going to have him sit down and talk
he's
about a lot about Iowa Hawkeye football against Ohio State moving forward later on that schedule. But yes, so he's a huge sports guy.
Huge.
Knows. I don't know about more than you because you were the sports guy.
You'd be surprised. That's all I'll say.
All right. Well, I'm excited. Well, again, thank you so much, Matt, for coming on. Guys, go check our website out, seatattheT.com. We're rebranding everything, so logos will be changing here shortly. We have articles coming out almost daily, and school starting back up, so everyone's going to be off their internship and back in it. So, guys, check that out. And everyone out there, be safe and go Buckeyes.